Welcome to TIFF. It's a really, really wild movie to work on, and especially to write the song. What was your take? What was your first approach? So you knew that you cannot synchronize your mind with the characters because it's impossible. But what do you do as a composer to get into the mood of the film before you even start writing something?
I think, well, for me, reading the script sort of set the tone from the beginning, having a lot of conversations with the director, exchanging music, exchanging references, and then it was just getting into making sounds and seeing what worked. And that took a little while too before we realized it was more percussion, more strings, things like that. But yeah, you just have to get in there and start and figure out what happens. It's a process of discovery. Yeah, I guess does that answer your question? So
It's I don't believe it's really possible to answer any question when it comes to the fair play. Because when I saw the film, I was stumbled. But this is the film where all the elements need to come together. Honestly speaking, I do compare it with a basic instinct. The reason why is not because of there's likely there's no one killing each other, but they kill each other's personality. So your song, the music is like if I remember correctly based on what I saw, the music was like depicting each character's personality. At some point, it was like drawing the entire movie in its own way. Again, it's not easy to be a composer for the film like The Fair Play.
yeah, there was definitely a lot of experimenting to find that and to try to have the music, like you said, move with the characters as they go. In the beginning, everything is almost perfect, and then it slowly comes apart. And towards the end, everything is being destroyed, defiled this way. So we just tried to kind of take that approach to the music as well, which meant starting it off with very, very pure, clean classical strings, and at the end, I'm quite literally hitting a cello with the drumsticks, smacking it. And so yeah, as those characters went on through that, we had to think about how the music would follow them. Rather than have a theme for each character, maybe it was more like the music was just on that journey of their own, mutual destruction.
No, exactly. You described it quite well because anything that in the movie is actually starts slowly and then it goes out of control. And for you as a composer, what is the easiest process for you to write a song when it comes to the movie like A Fair Play, or maybe even have you ever even revisited the certain scene, saying that what I have imagined in script or what I have imagined now, it's a two different way of getting there.
Totally different, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think where we started, there was no percussion, no strings, and in the end it was all percussion and strings pretty much. So it started one place and went a totally different place, and I think that only came about through Chloe really spending a lot of time in the edit, and spending a lot of time trying out different kinds of music that maybe wasn't mine at first, to know what was and wasn't working, and then that process of me taking over, working directly with her to try to figure out what works and what doesn't. And even during that process, in the beginning, I think Chloe wanted it to feel just like an overwhelming anxiety attack. And by the end of the process working together, she just wanted to figure out how the music can help it be more fun. So it really was quite a journey.
It is, and this is the last question because I know you probably have to go. But what is in this particular film? Every scene as it unfolds, it's like I said, it's not like you are throwing someone into the water and say go learn to swim. It's more like they're trying to drown each other in there. And for you, when you was writing, was there any particular scene that you found most challenging for yourself to describe the characters through your music?
Yeah, actually, I think the two most difficult scenes were one when the main character, that's played by Alden Ehrenreich, he's sort of struggling with his new position and not just his relationship but in his work, right? And we've already sort of come to dislike him, right? We're rooting for her, but at one point, how can we bring the audience back in to at least relate to him? He's reading all this kind of bad literature and starting to act like a total jerk. But we still want the audience to be with him a little bit so that we can be rooting, without giving the film, we can be rooting for what happens later. And that's part of the fun and the enjoyment, right? It's like, who are we rooting for? So the difficult part for me was to try to come up with music to make this pretty unlikable person likable in these moments before we pull the rug.
No, that's a good answer. But one last question. I know I keep telling that I'm not going to ask anymore, but I love the movie. It's not my fault, and it's your fault as a good composer because that's what you made me here, standing here. So, as the film, like, I forgot my question. But anyway.
Half the time when I'm answering questions, I forget what the question was.
No, I know. No, actually, like, the moment you wrote the film, like, the writer sees the characters in one way, cinematographer sees in another way, editors see it a different way, actors picture them differently. That was actually my question now that I remember. You as a composer, you have your own way seeing of this actress. How would you describe them in your own way?
Vile? I don't know. I had a lot of trouble relating to these characters. I think maybe even more so. And again, going back to the earlier question and answer, Chloe came in and she's like, we really need to figure out how to make the audience relate to this character more because there's nothing redeemable right now. And so we can't go on that journey. We can't. We need something to help make him more relatable. And that came with these like kind of like sad themes, like really like sad violent kind of thing, quite literally. And yeah, that was the hardest part. See, I forgot what your question was again. I did the same thing you did. Was that the answer? I can't remember.
No, I think we just have a good discussion of the film. That actually, the moment I saw the movie that will be screened at TIFF, I'm like, you cannot have it premiered on Wednesday on the second week. This is the movie that has to be premiered in the beginning so that more people can see it, like on the big screen, like, you know. And what was your reaction when you heard that the movie was sold at Sundance for $20 million?
I was just thrilled. It's great. I mean, I'm so happy for Chloe and everyone that was a part of it, invested their time and energy into it. Yeah, I don't think it could have gone any better. I think everyone's just really excited. I know I am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.